Welcome to the Real Estate Ripple. I'm Christy.
I'm Megan.
I'm Lindsey.
And I'm Joe.
This is your go-to podcast for everything real estate, lending, and local market insights.
Whether you're a realtor, mortgage pro, or part of the vibrant real estate community here in Joliet and the surrounding areas, we're here to bring you the tips, tools, and strategies to help you thrive.
From the latest market trends and lending updates to expert interviews and local spotlights, the Real Estate Ripple dives deep into what's shaping property scene.
We'll help you stay ahead of the curve with actionable advice, fun stories, and plenty of expert insight to help you and your clients make the right moves.
So whether you're unlocking new opportunities or navigating tricky transactions, we're here to help make your journey smoother, smarter, and more successful.
Subscribe to the Real Estate Ripple today,
where every conversation creates waves in the world of real estate. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us again at the Three Rivers Real Estate Ripple podcast. We have some really interesting stuff to get into today that will focus on who are you starting in 2026? Who are you? What is your brand?
Today, we are all four of us again, which is really fun. I'm Christy.
I'm Joe.
I'm Lindsey.
And I'm Megan.
And we're just going to kind of roundtable this and discuss what works.
Personal brands.
Yeah, let's talk personal branding.
Not just a logo, right? It's not the name on the door. It's not the company. It's you.
Yep.
You are your personal brand.
And actually, that's a good place to start off, where nowadays it's like you work with a company, but your clients are picking you because of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Not because of your company.
Yeah.
There's so many little mom and pop companies that have very successful realtors and some big name companies that their realtors might not do many deals because clients are working with who you are. Your personal branding and how you sell yourself and your services is really what is going to have somebody think, I want to work with them.
Yep. It sets you apart.
Yeah. Your company provides you with the tools, but then, what do you provide your clients and knowing what you have to offer?
How many times have you talked to someone who has switched companies and they're like, oh, I didn't even know, or I don't care who you work for, or, the name is great. Yes, you need that company behind you. I think we talked about this in another podcast too, but the name on the door is great. You need a strong company behind you, but at the same time, people are buying you. And I've had several agents that are like, oh, I switched offices. And I'm like, that's fine. I just want to work with you.
Right. Right.
It's you. So your background, getting to know like why people trust you, and your life experience really shapes you. Like I know, Christy, you were a teacher, and Joe, you have kind of the DJ background and the tech background, and Lindsey, you're a busy mom, and like everybody kind of has their brand. And so I think capitalizing on that in your business is really, really important in how you grow.
Right.
I think there's a common misunderstanding too when you're looking for your brokerage, when you're just beginning. A lot of times you can get caught up in thinking that this brokerage is going to be the thing that gets you all the deals and all the leads and all the tools and all the things, which if you have a brand and a business plan, then you can select the brokerage that gives you the actual tools and the things that you need. But it's so much more than the logo that you're sitting under. It is absolutely who you are. And once you can establish that with confidence, you can work anywhere with anyone and actually love doing it, and your clients will find you.
Right. You get to a point in your business where you mature enough. I'm sure all of us in the room have recruiters calling us all the time, trying to get our attention to join their brokerage, their company. And, I've come to the realization that it doesn't matter where you hang your hat on. They're like Christy, what you said, they're going to do business because it's you. They've had previous experience with how you did things, not how the company did it.
Yeah, because you're like you mentioned education earlier, like you're the educational realtor. So they're going to come to you for that education. That's part of your brand is education.
Right.
And your teacher background, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's like knowing like what sets you aside, but also what can you follow through with. So like not creating a niche where it's not like authentic. So for a long time, I taught for 10 years. I taught English, high school English. And then I switched really just because I was going to help my mom out. And then I had triplets. So life changed.
Life happened.
But it's, then I got into the mom mode, like what we've talked about before. But, who am I? What do I have to offer? And I like teaching my clients. I like them knowing what is out there, I mean, and also I think that Lindsey, you were saying that your clientele is within a certain range and you kind of, how they respond to your personality. You have a really sweet listening personality. So who are you? Yes, we're all these other things. We might be a mom or a sister or a friend, but who are you and how can you be authentic to yourself? Mm-hmm. That's where you kind of start off that personal branding.
Are you warm? Are you direct? Are you
right?
I'll tell jokes in some of my videos. I'll share horror stories and I'm like, don't be that person or don't do this or here's what I would do. And that's super authentic. Like I just have a conversation with people.
Mm-hmm. But if you're not comfortable with that, right? That's not who you are yet. Don't go down that path because then people will see through it.
Yeah. Right.
So you can't be consistent. If you're not being yourself, there's no way to be consistent. And the only way to build your personal brand is to be consistent.
Right. Especially within a local situation.
Yeah.
When
local market.
Every time you come across the same people, you're a different type of person that comes off as disingenuine.
Yeah.
And you can read it from a mile away. Now you're the person that I don't trust.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be everything to everybody.
A chameleon.
And it doesn't work. Right.
If you misspeak a little or your sentence structure isn't perfect and you didn't know the answer to a question, but you said, I got the guy to call, coming off a little bit more genuine and even rougher is probably not the right word for it, but just letting your human flag fly.
Yeah.
It will get you better
results.
Let your
freak flag fly, but you can edit that out.
It comes down to understanding who you are.
Yeah.
Like Christy, you're the educator, right? Lindsey, you mentioned before that you work with divorcing clients and like Christy said, you listen. You listen with heart and you give the right advice, right? So how do you market yourself if you don't know who your authentic self is?
Or you're new just starting out and you don't have that maybe yet,
So if you are new, that's going to be the first question you need to ask before you start personally branding yourself. Like,
who am I?
Who am I? What does my ideal client look like? And why do I want to go after that client?
Mm-hmm. And why will they trust me?
Right.
What makes me trustworthy in this realm?
Maybe you have a personal experience, though. I think that's where everybody should start is personal experience. Yeah. My most successful client stories or my most successful videos on social media or one-on-one conversation, whatever it is, are when I'm sharing a personal experience that I've learned from or a client I've helped because I've gone through the same thing.
Yes.
I think life experience is just as important, if not more important, than work experience. So if you're new, lean on that life experience.
Right.
Or a story of somebody you know that you want to help.
And really even let it evolve from there. I remember in my first year when I came in, real estate wasn't necessarily to be a realtor wasn't necessarily the goal, but I was constantly around the conversation. I remember, so I'm from a construction background. So my husband is a contractor. We flipped houses over and over and over. I have the gift of gab with contractors and how much will this cost and how much square footage. And I was noticing that I was always in the right room where somebody was talking about the next building they were going to purchase or the next project they were going to have. And it hit me like, okay, my husband is here. I already have an in. I'm having these conversations. I'm hearing them. I need to be the one that says, I can be your agent.
Right.
So, and he was traveling. So he was back and forth. He had a really cool kind of position where he was kind of being shipped around just before 2020, doing locks, vaults, safes, things like that, like electrical.
Mm-hmm.
So I signed up with a cloud-based brokerage and I knew I had the tools and I could just be on the go. And I started making calls to all of the different contractors that we had worked with, the projects that we had done. And that got me going. I had a listing in 3 months after and I wasn't even in the state.
You had that personal experience.
Yep.
You leaned on your personal experience.
So I thought that was my brand. Yeah. I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk to investors and commercial and I am going to have that be my focus.
Yeah.
And it was my focus and it is still my focus. Along the way in real estate, I've noticed that people come to me to talk. They come to me with really big secrets. They come to me when things are really hard.
You're a good listener. That's who you
are. I listen. I treat everyone equally. I guess turns out that I do have a great business plan that supports people when they're going through like really, really tricky times in their life. And in the last 2 years, I have done more divorce deals than I have ever thought. I was joking earlier. When I first came in, I thought I saw people niche in divorce. And I thought, what a sick thing to prey on. Like,
there's riches and niches.
Right? Like, what a silly thing. And now here I am like, no, there's a need for this. When people are going through when people are selling their houses, it is a very small percentage that they're just moving into their dream house and they're upsizing and
right.
Perfect. They're going through things. Somebody died. They're getting a divorce. And when you can comfort somebody through those types of situations, the referrals, when you help someone on that level during that time in their life, they will never forget you. So I have a new one.
You help them for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I think also with divorce too, it's knowing how to manage both sides of the parties.
Yeah.
You know, like when I've worked with a couple as well, and it's like, you know, knowing that they both know you're going to be equal, but with showing the authenticity and someone that can listen, but not showing a side.
Yep.
You know, like I'm here for both of you guys. You're both going through this difficult position, and I'm the professional who can be that middleman to help execute this.
You mean it's not like HGTV?
No.
I know, right? Where you see 3 houses and you pick one.
I know.
It's not HGTV. Who knew?
See, Lindsey, that's your story.
Yeah.
like
That's your story.
Part of your
and
brand.
That's the reason why you do what you do, right?
Truth.
And it's helped you create this persona to the people that you're marketing to is like, I'm going to go to Lindsey because she specializes in this. She's good at this area of real estate.
And you share about it. I think personal branding is all about sharing stories. We're not talking at people. We're not telling them. I mean, I saw this speaker, Kendra Hall, once, and she's a professional storyteller. Like, that's her job. Like, she used to write for magazines and things like that. And
I wish I could do that.
She shared with us how to tell the story. And it's like when we used her framework to do a video like online, it was like, oh my gosh, that video is so much better than me just talking at people, because I'm just telling them a story about what happened and people read it and they care and they want to hear the story. People don't want to be sold anymore. Like, they want to hear the story, and that's your personal brand.
It's relatable. They're going through it. I tell my clients all the time, like, you might be amicable today and everybody is on the same page today. But in a week from now, when your feelings are at an all-time high and you are no longer seeing eye to eye, put the tough things on me. Call me. I'll tell the other party to do this. We'll get it signed. Keep all the hard things on me, and we're just going to keep moving forward. And we just step by step, we trudge right through it, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's a unique
That's
skill.
Your brand.
It's a unique skill to be able to work with divorcing clients.
But I think that comes into knowing who you are and how you operate within conversations.
Yep, it's a process.
And, you know, I think, you know, with all that in your personal life, you're trustworthy. You're not somebody who's going to be like, you know, if somebody calls you and says, like, I have one right now that they're getting divorced, I didn't even tell my husband. We know them. I'm like, no, this is a business thing.
I didn't tell my husband anything.
No, because you have to be like, even though he's my other half, he doesn't need to be part of my business. And when this is a business transaction, you have to be.
Well, you'll see them in a social setting, and the husband will be, and not meaning anything. They just know something. Hey, how's this going? And immediately the trust is broken.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You need somebody who is just like a concrete vault with this when you're going through it.
So how do we take these, like, once you know who you are and how you operate, how do we suggest people take this and actually apply it and make other people see this?
Yeah. I think knowing, like, for me, I have a huge passion with veterans. And so knowing that those are organizations I join and I'm a part of, that's the community I kind of, for lack of a better, I identify with, right? Like, that's just where I spend my time. And your personal brand just kind of grows from there.
Right. I mean, you were saying earlier that when you guys purchased your home, it was difficult because you didn't have people who understood the veteran.
Yeah, we used a VA loan on our house, and I wasn't a lender at the time when we bought our first house, and I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I actually just shared this video yesterday. I sold my first house, and I regret selling my first house, but I didn't realize a VA loan, you can use the rental income to qualify for the new house. I didn't know. And had I known, my whole financial picture would be different right now in my life. And so I use that as my part of my branding, and that's fuel for me to make sure I share that and educate my clients. So I'm just really passionate about that because I've gone through it. It goes back to the life experience part of it. So when you're working on building your personal brand and who you are, lean on that. Lean on that life experience. Share those stories. The stories of your life are so, so powerful. And I think people relate to a level of vulnerability too. Mm-hmm. It's not always look at me, look at me, look at me. Yes. It's like, here's the really hard stuff I've gone through and the mistakes that I've made. I don't want you to make the same mistakes. Yeah. I want you to learn from my mistakes. And that's where I've really built I share this story all the time. Like, my husband and I were broke as a joke, had debt. We couldn't afford our lives, and we dug ourselves all out of that. And I learned the hard way. But like now I'm like, come to me as soon as you can, and I will teach you how to get out of that because I don't want you to go through that. It's all part of my brand.
Those are the things that nobody sees about lenders and realtors in the background.
We're people too.
Right. Get a little bit salesy villainized at times, but the level of care that goes in the background. I mean, I'm on calls with clients at 6 a.m. or 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. Like, it is.
You don't see that on the highlight reel on social media, right?
You see it when somebody's having a breakdown at midnight because something's about to happen the next day and they can't get a hold of somebody and it spirals into the whole thing actually falling apart. That can happen. Right. So to just answer a phone and be there for someone is life-changing. Yeah.
I think for my personal brand, it grew because, again, it goes back to the story. And I shared my story very early, one of the very first podcasts that we recorded here, but I specialize in first-time homebuyers, right? And the reason is because as I was buying my first home, I did a lot of mistakes. I was self-employed. One of my business partner and I missed a credit card monthly payment in the middle of me being under contract, and it went from an FHA loan to a subprime loan because the 30-day late showed up between the contract date and the time I was going to close. I didn't understand that. And the realtor that I was working with was amazing. He's no longer in the business. My loan officer, who's one of the guys that actually trained me how to do this, sat me down and said, here's why. And after I closed on the house and got in, I said, you know what? I want to do what those guys are doing.
Yeah.
They helped me in such a way that changed my life and my perspective about real estate, that I don't want people, kind of like what you, Megan, said, I don't want people to go through what I went through. Yep. So now I'm specialized in first-time homebuyers, right? So what does that mean for me? I had to get good at credit repair and understanding how credit works. I had to get good at understanding where people can get money and budgeting and down payment assistance and things like that. So
hand-holding.
I can educate people and I can listen to people, right? So that's, so I went through that for me. I saw the result. I liked the feeling. Yes, it was a challenge, but I came out successful. But then the client that I helped next, that was another story. Then the client I helped next, another story. Keep adding those stories, and then it forms you.
It does. It builds who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, but
builds your box of tools.
Yes.
But
what's in your toolbox?
You said something really important. Share the story.
Yeah.
People don't know if you don't share.
Yeah.
So like you have to share these stories because that's how you're going to probably find a lot of clients and referrals too, because people are going to read their story and go, well, if they can do it, like maybe Christy can help me. Maybe Lindsey can help me. Maybe Joe can help me get out of my credit situation.
Maybe Megan can help me.
Yeah, maybe I'm a veteran. I'm going to call like she knows VA. So like you just, we said there's riches and niches a bunch of times, and you don't have to just completely niche down. Don't think if you don't have a certain niche yet that you can't be successful, because you can. But I think everybody naturally kind of develops their own niche just because of their life experiences. But again, people don't know that if you don't share it.
And you have to be vulnerable.
Yes.
It took me years to be able to tell my clients
You're not
that
weak.
Story. No. It adds strength to why they should do business with you, because now you know they know that you know exactly what
you're relatable.
Yeah.
Right. You're not this figure on social media that's perfect or put on this pedestal. You are a relatable human. And I feel like people want to work with people who are relatable. Yeah. And if your brand isn't relatable, no one's going to follow you, or nobody's going to, and not that you should be obsessed with the number of followers. It's not about that. I think truly your personal brand, it's quality versus quantity. I truly believe that. You want the right people following you. And if you're sharing these authentic stories and sharing your life experiences, you're going to attract those people you want to work with. And that's when this business gets fun.
Yes.
Well, and one of those things that we keep talking about is sharing your stories, sharing stories of what maybe your clients have gone through that you've helped them with. But also make sure that you're not sharing people's names and that you're not sharing other people's personal information.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking earlier about how we won't answer the phone. Like Lindsey and I were talking about how, and she brought up how she won't answer the phone when she's with clients. And she says, I'll give you the same respect, so if I don't answer right away, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that brought up a conversation of, because we don't want them to hear confidential information as well.
Right.
Some of this has to be in that trustworthy category. But also when you do a showing, Lindsey, how about it? We see some different things at showings, but you don't take out your phone and say, now I'm going to go to social media and blast this house because they left their underwear on the floor. Like, it's a mistake. It happens. I mean, we see some different things, and it's being professional.
Yeah.
While also being approachable.
Yeah.
But like, one thing that I don't ever really do is post pictures of anybody's houses on the inside, because I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. And it's not a marketing tool. I don't think that it's, a kind thing to make fun of someone's house when you're showing it. Show that you're busy, show that you're doing stuff, but there's different ways to go about that.
Yeah.
So how might we take this like personal branding and put it into our social media, like how we advertise?
So that's a great point, Christy, because I put a post up yesterday of a closing that I had, and it was an amazing story. But before I posted it, I've learned that I need to get their permission.
Yes.
Get their
ask
permission.
permission. Yeah.
So what I've done now
Are you
lately
okay if I
is
share your story?
I write my post, and the bottom I say shared with permission. So somebody reading it isn't going to be like, why is Joe sharing all that personal information?
I
Well,
hope he doesn't show mine.
exactly.
Right.
It was
Especially if
shared-
it's a tough situation.
shared
right?
with permission.
Like, not everybody's comfortable sharing on the internet that you help them repair their credit. That might be embarrassing for somebody,
exactly.
right? But if a lot of people, like I have a lot of clients who are like, no, please share if I could help somebody else. But again, having their permission, I think, is key. And not, like you said, not using names.
No.
You don't have to use names. It could be anybody.
You don't even need to use towns that you purchased in.
You could tell a story without that.
Yeah.
Right.
But yesterday, my photo on the post was a picture of them at the closing, celebrating, you know. So it's like, can I share this?
Oh, yeah.
And here's what I wrote. I took a screenshot of it. Are you okay if I shared this?
Yep.
And I knew that they would, but I wanted to make sure that it was okay. Because I was talking about
CYA, right?
I talked about their journey, where they started, how we worked with each other, increased the credit score and came up with a plan and all that. So you don't want to put something out there that's going to make somebody else reading it question your trustworthiness and the ability to hold things confidential.
Trust should be a huge part of your personal brand. In our industry, integrity, trust, morals, all of that. Because there are so many people across every industry, not just ours, but that aren't that way. So we don't ever want to come across not that way. So that should be a part of your personal brand. But back to your question of how do you build your personal brand on social media, we talked about sharing, right? Share the stories first. You can't build social media if you don't share.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then consistency is another huge part of that. And not just sharing business. Like
Confession, I am guilty of not being consistent.
Same. I think we all are. But at the same time, too, not just sharing business. Like, we're people.
Share your life.
And your personal brand. Yeah. I use kind of like an 80-20 rule or 70-30. Like, it should be more personal than professional, because I spend more of my life personally than like we all work more than 8 hours a day. But in theory, right? Think about it. An 8-hour work day. Well, there's 12 more hours in the day that 12 while you're sleeping for part, Anyway, the point is you're doing more personal stuff than professional. So I think sharing the personal stuff is really important, what makes you relatable, and a huge part of your personal brand too. That's my opinion. I mean, if some people disagree with me and really keep their business and personal separate, and if that works for you, cool.
I've gone through stages. I actually like hearing your positivity towards showing more personal, because it is something that I kind of need to hear. In the beginning, I thought, well, my family is the best part of me. So maybe that could be a part of what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when we were working on flips or construction projects and kids are pounding nails and pulling carpet. That's adorable. Why wouldn't you show that?
Yeah.
So I showed quite a bit about family in the beginning, and I have had more than 3 extremely creepy scenarios come out.
Really?
People have found my kids' teachers. Things have been sold under my name on Marketplace with bank accounts. Like there's just a lot of things that I've unraveled. And instantly, just when I thought I was doing so good, sharing everything the way that I should, and look at my family is beautiful, and my business is beautiful, and look, everything looks so beautiful, now I'm a target. And so then I did kind of I took my family away from it and I started just posting business. And when I look at it personally, it's like, oh, that is so flat. There's so much more to me than just like these houses that were sold or these things that I'm working on.
Do you have a business page and a personal page, or is it all combined?
Now it's separated. Now there's a lot more in place than I think there was. But I think in the beginning I was just shared because you're always told share it across everything. Right? Share it across everything, your business page, make it all these beautiful things. So just to add, we'll do a podcast on the creepiness later.
We should have like a creepy story podcast. We won't use names though.
We won't use names, but we could really spill some tea on weirdness in real estate. But back on topic, it sits heavy on me because my family and how they participate in my business is such a beautiful element of why I do what I do, but it is hard to share. So being mindful, a few tips that I'm mindful of with a large family size is not showing any numbers on houses when we're standing in front of them. I don't disclose location on where I'm at and when I'm there unless it's strictly a work event and I'm there with no children whatsoever. I make sure that there's no teachers who are friends with my children who are on my personal page. I know that even sounds a little crazy, but I have kind of separated methodically my children and people who know my children from my business website for now. So that's kind of growing and moving. I felt like I should do an update for the holidays and show that I still do have a family and they're beautiful. But it is tricky. You'll get in your head when you're thinking through how do I share or how much do
You're going to get negative comments too. Like when you share on social media, I can't tell you how many times I get a negative comment from somebody's like either they disagree with you, the opinion that you're sharing, or
they're a hater.
Exactly. They're a hater. And here's the thing. That's gonna happen. Like when you put your life out there, you have to just build that thick skin and choose the 10 positive comments and just eliminate the one negative. Don't engage with it. Don't even let yourself go there. But when you're building your personal brand, there's going to be people who don't like you. And that's okay.
Like we're a little bit of a target. We're trusted professionals in our local market, right? So if I build a page that's an identical replica of one of us professionals in the room, why would that person steal $500 to pay for a refrigerator? And so like we are these trusted faces that can be used. So I love sharing on social media, but do it with a little bit of skepticism. Do it with it. Just make sure you are a little bit methodical on how you're putting things out, in what way you're putting things out. Never in front of their schools if there's kids involved, just things like that. Be a little bit more mindful in how your business relates to your family and who is watching.
Well, and also you could, if like social media isn't your thing, there's a lot of very successful realtors who do farming and who kind of go that route, which really removes your family and your social life from your business.
There's different strategies.
There's different strategies.
So social media is just one part of it.
Right. And even which social media platform, I would say if I'm targeting people who are 45 and up, I think snail mail, postcards, sending envelopes, things to open, that is still something that they respond to.
Knowing your demographic.
If you're first-time home buyers and some millennials, I would definitely think that you need to be on social media, but like knowing finding your niche. Where are you at? Where are your people at?
Knowing your target market is a huge part of building that personal brand.
And if you don't know that, if you can't really put your finger on who am I today, choose a location. You are your neighborhood's expert. You are your town's expert. You can't be Illinois' expert.
Right.
No, you can't.
You're not driving to Peoria to show homes.
And you'll be tempted in your career. You'll be tempted. You'll get a call from like Bufu, Egypt, and they want you to sell something. You're like, I haven't had all right. And then you think about it.
Am I really the best person for this?
You cannot service a client in an area that you are unfamiliar with. And so just pick a location. Infiltrate the school, infiltrate the police station in your local community, send some snail mail to your neighborhood, and be local famous.
Yeah. I love this. If someone binges your content for 30 minutes, will they know who you are? Or if they sit with you for 30 minutes, will they know what you value? Will they know how you work? And if you're their person? I think that's a good, if you don't know where to start, start there with your social media or with your strategy for meeting one-on-one with clients or...
Maybe your social media needs a cleanup.
Maybe it does. Have you Googled yourself?
Yeah.
There's homework for everybody. If you haven't Googled yourself, Google yourself. Seriously.
Here's the thing. I went through this exercise with my son who, after he graduated college and he was in the middle of looking for a job, I said, kid, you need to go in and clean up your social media because these people that you're applying to, believe me when I tell you, they're going to go look at your social media pages.
First thing.
So same thing with lenders and realtors. Don't be showing the times where you got a lampshade over your head and you're hungover New Year's Day morning.
Right.
It's okay to have a good time, but
share the toast. Don't share that.
Yeah.
If you're buying a house and you want to stand a chance, clean up your social media.
Be mindful.
When sellers get a stack of offers,
oh, that's a good
first
point.
thing they do is look up, and you tell them not to, and this is not a thing, and whatever, you shouldn't be doing this, but the first thing they do is creep on every single thing, and now they're judging you. They're choosing you.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
maybe the money wins out, but if they know someone who is friends with someone who is friends with their Aunt Sally who they can't stand, you might not get the house.
Yeah. So, Lindsey, like what you were saying, share with skepticism.
Yeah.
Also share knowing like what is it that you want to see, because social media for most people is just like, oh, it's fun. For us, the professionals, this is our brand.
It's our brand and our livelihood.
It is our brand. Yeah. What do you want people to see? Is that what you want them to think of you as you're trying to solicit or earn their business?
How many times have you rage posted and regretted it? I used to, when I was younger, I used to do that all the time.
Used to.
I'll see stuff pop up in my memories and I'm like, I can't relate to anyone less than my 2008 self. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but that's just it. I wasn't thinking. Think before you post, right? Like
the other side to that.
Sometimes I'll rage type it out and then delete or
The other side to that is I'm sure that there's some people listening too is like, they know they should be posting, but they're not.
They don't know what to post.
They don't know what to post, or they think like, I'm not good enough. I don't like the way I sound. I don't like the way I look.
Start.
You have to start. For me, my mental block was, well, I sound cocky. I'm talking about myself when I'm doing these posts, and that wasn't me. You got to learn how to overcome that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where to go, we've talked about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've talked about, there's Canva.
Canva has some great pre-made posts. You don't have, everyone's like, I'm not good in Canva. You don't have to be.
No.
Like there's pre-made posts. Just add your little picture on it and you're good to go. Like just don't reinvent the wheel. And as you do it more and get consistent with it, you're going to get more comfortable with it. So as you're building your brand, consistency is number one. Be authentic to who you are.
And maybe one thing to add to that, as you are putting posts out on social media, take a little data. Is the same post that you put on Instagram doing as well as it is on Facebook? And why or why not? It's kind of there's no like really right or wrong to this, but you will realize in time who responds to what type of thing better and on what platform.
Where you're getting your bang for your buck.
Attention.
Yeah.
And is it getting the response you want?
Totally.
Yep.
Or is this, there's so many times I'll put something on Instagram and think, oh, that would have that's a Facebook thing to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll catch myself, but that's just part of the learning. It's an experiment.
So you wouldn't know if you didn't do it.
Totally.
So that goes back to the point of
Stick
you
it out
just have
there.
to do it. And if it's cringe, sometimes I'll look at stuff and I cringe and I'm just like, but you know what? I learned from it.
Yeah.
And you just can't.
Yeah.
That's invaluable experience. So just post it. Just make the post.
Well, also, if you don't know what to post, obviously we said ChatGPT or Canva, but talk to your sphere.
Yeah.
Like bounce ideas. What do you do? How did you start doing social media? How did you overcome the nerve of being in camera? Like,
if you get asked the same question more than once, that should probably be a post because that means some people want, use that as a rule of thumb.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think this is all great. Personal branding is exactly what it is. It's personal.
Yeah.
Right? It's like who you are and market who you are. And in terms of marketing who you are, you have to understand how you got to the place where you're at now. Right? What are the factors and the reasons that you're doing what you do?
Yep.
And just take that and market it and exude it on social media, on everything that you do. So, well, I think our time might be up for this episode. Again, I had a blast doing
this was fun. I'm going to leave it with be authentic and be you. That's it.
Yeah. And know who you are and then break it down into your daily, right?
Yep. And if what you put out today doesn't match who you want to be tomorrow, just start again.
Right.
That's right.
Just start again.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, thanks everybody, all the listeners that are out there for joining us on the Three Rivers Real Estate Podcast, The Real Estate Ripple. Give us a like and leave a comment down below. And we hope that this information was valuable and helps you grow your business.
Yeah. And if you have any other tips for personal branding that you think that somebody can can take away from it, please toss it into the comments. We'd love to read it.
Absolutely. All right. Happy January.
See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
That's a wrap for this episode of The Real Estate Ripple. We hope you're walking away with some valuable insights and a fresh perspective on the world of real estate.
Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whether you're on the go or closing deals, we've got you covered every week.
And if you've enjoyed today's show, we'd love for you to leave a review and share the Real Estate Ripple with your fellow realtors, lenders, and anyone looking to stay ahead in this ever-changing market.
Until next time, keep making waves in the world of real estate.